Hi Scorpio, welcome to your week ahead tarot with me, Raphael from Reydiant Reality. It's an absolute pleasure to have you. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for joining me. Quick note, just want to say, the weeklies will be going behind a membership paywall here on YouTube. The monthlies will probably be coming back as well. I just want to give you guys plenty of time to give you a heads up so that you know. As I said, many changes coming to Reydiant Reality, and I wanted to give everybody a proper heads up to let you all know that things are shifting and changing. I've just been doing all the stuff in the background, but there are going to be a lot of changes coming up, so stay tuned. If you want to get a membership, I will assure you they are super affordable, the same price as a coffee. All right, with that said, I would like to bless my decks of cards with all forms of love, light, peace, prosperity and abundance, and I pray that the messages that come through are ultimately clear and concise. They help you on your path to your highest vibrational good. So for your key to the week this week, you have the Devil. Okay, so I mean, look, it's not, whenever this card shows up as a key to the week, it's not to say that you're going to be giving in to your worst impulses. It is to say though that you might be convincing yourself that there's only one course of action. All right, and to be fair, in the work that I do, in my client work, I have come to notice that the Devil card usually shows up as that. Yes, it can be literal addictions, obsessions, etc., and we'll see with what other cards come out, but a lot of the time it's where someone is so locked into the fact that no, this is the only way that this can happen, or you know what, no, I'm sick and there's no cure, I'm never going to be, I'm never going to be healed, or whatever the case might be. It's like they're stuck into one thought pattern and or program. So really, the Devil card is in a lot of ways, it highlights where we are needing to take more of a what's the word, it's where we're needing to take more responsibility in a sense. All right, so for your actions and options, you've got the Three of Swords. So there could be something this week that you are hell-bent on getting rid of, right? Hell-bent on releasing or letting go of. Maybe there's something that you want to bring to a close or to an end, and it's like, whatever happens, this has to come to an end, and it's like you're demanding that this is done. That's one way this can show up. Another way that it could also show up though, this could literally be the release of or the letting go of an obsession or an addiction. If you've got a bad habit, it looks like this week you are conquering that bad habit, which is fantastic. Well done, you. Now, in terms of the options that are available to you, this kind of feels like like if someone, it's a really grim analogy, but I'm going to give you it anyway. It's kind of like, if someone gets a gangrenous toe, they usually just say, right, well, we're going to we're going to amputate, right? And they amputate in order to save the foot, in order to save the leg, in order to save the person. Whereas if you just let this thing kind of set in, it's possible that it kind of, doesn't... You get my drift, right? So this week it's possible that this thing that you're letting go of, it's like you realize very quickly, this is something or someone that I need to get rid of before it becomes a real problem for me later. For your communications and conversations, you've got the Ten of Swords. Something is coming to an end this week, right? And the beauty of that Three of Swords in the actions and options, this is something that is led consciously by you. There's something that you are releasing consciously, something that you're choosing to let go of, to say, actually, this doesn't work for or benefit me anymore in any way, shape or form. Now, for those of you that are studying or in some form of academia, that Ten of Swords, when it comes to studies, this could actually be that the end is the end is nigh, let's say. Maybe you can see the light at the end of the tunnel, and yet that Devil card sees you like perfecting and perfecting and perfecting. So one of the things that I'll say with this, sorry, I've got that bloody itchy nose thing. One of the things that I will say to you with this Ten of Swords is this: it's possible that if you're studying and you're working on a thesis or some big body of work, it's possible that you could just keep cutting bits and chopping it and nipping it and tucking it, and before you know it, it ends up like looking like one of these people, you know, people that just can't leave their face alone once they start with the surgeries. This is, or girls with their eyebrows in the 90s. That's the example I always like to give. Leave it alone, right? Because the chances are you can end up doing more harm than good. Once you've made the decision, once it's finished, let it be finished, right? Same thing with this. If you end a friendship, if you release a job, like whatever it is, once it's done, let it be done. Don't keep going back to pick at the scab. For those of you that are employed by somebody else, employment could be coming to an end this week, or maybe some bad habit that you've got into of constantly finishing other people's work, or being the person that always stays late, you know, behind, or whatever the case might be. This week you're stopping that. Good. When it comes to those of you that are business owners, entrepreneurs, solopreneurs, people that work for themselves, this is a little more tricky, because it might be something that you have genuinely loved about your business. It might be a service, it might be a client. There's something that comes to an end this week, something that goes away, something that you are releasing, and by doing so, it really sort of sets a new precedent, and maybe that's what's uncomfortable to you. Now, you know, Scorpio is a fixed sign. It likes familiarity. For those of you that are retired and no longer working, please, for the love of money, please look after your back this week, like your physical back, right? This would be a good week to go to acupuncture, be a good week to go to a chiropractor. This would be, in fact, chiropractor or an osteopath. Perfect people to go to this week. For your love and relations, you've got the Ten of Cups. That's beautiful. So what do we see here? Two tens. Two tens is change, and it's usually a big change, right? So for those of you that are partnered, married, or in a long-term commitment, specifically for those of you that don't already, this week you could be deciding that you're going to move in together. For those of you that are partnered, married, or in long-term commitments that already live together, this is some kind of shift or change that's coming to the home. For those of you that have always said, no, don't want children, not interested in that, maybe you change your mind this week, or maybe one of you changes your mind. Lots of shift, lots of change when it comes to the relationship, and positive change at that. It's the Ten of Cups. So this could also be a boost to the partner's finances or resources in some way. Love that. And it could be something that comes to a satisfactory completion or close for a partner in their world. Now, for those of you that are single, it's very likely that a family member and or very close friend who maybe has tried to set you up multiple times before, maybe, just maybe, they say to you, you know what, I've got somebody that I really want to introduce you to, and you're like, oh gosh, here we go again, right? Do you even know me at all? This time they might have got it right. You might be really pleasantly surprised, so be open to it, right? It's always good to have a healthy dose of cynicism around these things, especially because our family members and our friends tend to, because they know our dating history, they tend to pick someone that they think is good for us, but they don't really take into account who we are. So, you know, anyway. For your money and materials, you've got the King of Cups. So this is your card, right? The King of Cups is Scorpio energy. So when it comes to your finances, right next to the Ten of Cups, I might add, your resources look really good this week, providing you are able to curtail or curb your own lustful. And when I say lustful, it's not just about the sex side of things, but like as long as you're able to curb your own appetites, your resources could be quite nicely steady this week, right? Whereas if you get into emotional spending, you know, trying to fill the gap or the void with stuff that you can buy, that could run away with itself. Also, this week, there might be a financial opportunity that is presented to you this week, and you have to use your intuition to see or to decide whether it's actually going to be good or not, right? Something to think about. All in all though, I really like this, and I'm intrigued to see where it could go. When it comes to your physical health and vitality, this is your reproductive system, so look after that this week, like really look after that. It's possible as well that some of you might be having some kind of news about a surgery, either on or with the reproductive system, or either on or on or with your back. All right, now, so those are the two areas. When it comes to those of you, when it comes to your home and environment, the King of Cups in terms of home is really about creating an artistic and intuitive, in a supportive environment for your intuition, right? A place or a home that is conducive to enhancing your intuitive faculty. All right, and you know, the Scorpio home, because what four signs past Scorpio is Aquarius, so the Scorpio home tends to be sort of ahead of its time in some way. With that said, I wish you an abundance of all of that good stuff. Remember, there are changes coming, so stay tuned for that, and take care, and I'll see you soon.